That riff is a riff that I came up with when I was making my MixBox demo. I just came up with it off the top of my head at the time. And, you know, it was just something and nothing at the time, but it's kind of stuck with me because it's sort of, it's kind of catchy, and I thought I should maybe do something with it. And today I'm in the studio because I need to record a track to help to promote this guitar. And so I'm going to start there. I'm going to start there with that riff, and I've gone back to exactly the same preset that I was using in MixBox. Okay, so I'm on the acoustic now because the original riff was in E and it was power chords, and so I thought I'd better nail down, because power chords are ambiguous whether the majors or minors or not, so I thought I'd better nail down where the majors and minors were going to be. And when I did that, then I realised that if this was going to be a vocal tune, which I'm still not sure it is, that it was going to be too high for me to sing in that key, because I have an idea for a melody. I don't have any words yet. But I sort of have a tune up there, and so then what I've done is I've dropped the key to find a key where I could sing it if it's going to be a vocal tune. I think that the original riff makes kind of a really cool uplifting bouncy chorus kind of a thing, so I thought then what I'd do is I'd try and drop it down to a really dark sounding verse. So at the moment I kind of have this. I'm going to have a run through now and just see if I've kind of got the chords and melody nailed down, and if so, then I'll see if I can write some words that don't suck massively. La da da, la da da da, la da, la da da da, la da 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 da, la da 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 da. Gotta rise above it all, make a stand, don't take the fall. You gotta rise above it all, don't let them drag you down, don't piss your pants around. I love drums more than anything, and it's the one thing I'm really hopeless at playing, so I love drum apps more than anything. And this drum app I'm using is Digistix, and Digistix is one of my favourite drum apps. It's probably the one I use most because it's very, very versatile. I've dropped some fantastic acoustic samples into Digistix, and what I'm doing is I'm actually using Cubasis 3's piano roll to put the MIDI in for the drums, because for me at this stage I've got the chords, I've got the melody, I've kind of got mostly the words, and so for me now it's get the drums down, make sure the groove's right, the tempo's right, and with the drums I can get the whole arrangement right. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to select all of this drum MIDI here, mouse, do we need to have a talk? I'm going to select all of this drum MIDI here. Seriously? Come on! Oh, swear words. I'm going to do this with my finger. Okay, so I'm selecting all of that MIDI and then I'm going to glue it all together. And now I'm going to go into the drums and I'm going to work out how many different drums I have used in this MIDI. 9 drum tracks. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to copy this drum MIDI 9 times. Now I already have a copy. I'm going to copy it 8 times. And now for the most important bit, the labeling. Alright, so now this track is going to be kick, so I go into the MIDI and the very bottom drum down there is the kick, so I just select, oh, do you know, sod this mouse, I'm using my finger, right, so then I just select everything else, delete that off, and now all I have on this track is a kick. I couldn't decide whether I was going to put down guitar or bass next, and I was kind of falling out on myself about it, so I thought, I know, I'll put down some organ. So I went into Synthmaster and looked for a sound and accidentally sort of found a different kind of sound. I found this. Which I thought might sound quite nice in the chorus. So but to tart it up a little bit, I went into MixBox and I made this sound. Almost makes it sound like it can play keyboards. What I'm going to do with these guitar parts for this track is I'm going to get them bashed down in like a couple of takes and try and keep that rock and roll live energy in there. Don't want them to be too perfect, I just want to have like great feel to it. In other words, no pissy panting about, lots of energy. And the other thing you should bear in mind about these guitar parts is I'm putting them down with presets from MixBox for now, so that's what you're hearing as I'm recording, but the audio that's actually being recorded into Cubase is actually still clean. So before I mix this down, I'm actually going to go in and make my own presets that perfectly suit the track.
Some people will never understand. Some people will never lend a hand. Some people will thrive on your pain. Some people,
You know, I do love recording on those days when I can actually play. I'd really like this track to have an awesome guitar solo on it, but to be honest, the way it's going so far, if I want this song to have a decent solo, I think I'm going to have to ask someone else to play it because I suck. I've just been jamming over the track, just trying to come up with something that's not awful, and I'm failing on an epic scale. It's bad. I wasn't sure how to start the solo, so what I did was I took the melody, the first little melody line from the chorus, and turned that into a sort of a bit of a lick. And let me switch this on. So I've got 4 notes. Do you know, I never slide with my first finger. I've realised doing this. In order to play this nicely, or at least a bit nicely, I need to slide with my first finger. And I never slide with my first finger, and I'm really, really bad at it. See, that's not bad. Okay, maybe we've got a bar. Like something from a Metallica solo that I can't even play. Stupid hippie. Cheesy. Alright, let's try it with the track. At the end of the track, I've got this bit where the music suddenly stops and just the vocal takes over and sings the end of the chorus with just two harmonies backing it up. And I wanted just a little bit more than that, but I didn't want guitar. I wanted like a sudden change of sound. Now, I'd thought in this track that there would probably be a gentle organ or a bit of piano, just something to help fill out the sound, but listening to it, I don't think it really needs any keys. I've got the arpeggio bit, but other than that, no keys. So at the very end of the song, I'm going to bring in a gentle piano behind this vocal. So far I think this sounds okay. I'm using Housemarque 1 and it sounds like this. Now I do sing slightly flat in there, and I spotted it after I'd finished doing all the vocal takes and everything, but I sort of think it kind of fits in with the style of the way I'm singing it. I don't think it sounds glaringly terrible, so much so that I think I'm going to leave it in. Now a lot of people would just like grab auto-tune, what's auto-tune? Auto-tune, and just fix that, but I really don't like using auto-tune. I hate the sound of it, and I'd rather that it was just real, you know, like just sort of proper. I'm not the world's greatest singer, and I'm not proud about singing, so for me, yeah, if there's a sloppy bit of singing in there, you know, so sue me. Anyway, right, so what I had to do with this is I had to, because I did the vocal bit first and then I did the piano after. So what I did, because the music has stopped and I slowed down the singing, so I couldn't just put some MIDI in for this piano in time because it wasn't in time. So what I had to do was I had to mark the places where I wanted the vocal, where the piano chord was to come in behind the vocal, and then I had to go in and use the bar, the transport bar, that's the word, to put the MIDI in just there, and then come out and find the next bit where I wanted the next chord to kick in and mark it like that, and then go in and so on and so on. Right, so that's how I did it. Now what I'm doing is I'm using Housemarque 1 because in my video about MixBox I thought that it worked quite nicely using the initialized setting and then using MixBox to sort of add effects to it, right? To get creative with it. So I'm going to open MixBox now. Okay, so we'll go into the key setting and let's just see if we can find something that sounds, I don't know, just a little bit interesting. So I've been pissy-panting about with a few presets and I found this one that I think sounds really nice.
Don't let 'em get you down. Pick yourself up off the ground. You gotta rise.
I think that's a cool starting point, but it's called Dramatic Echoes and I was kind of expecting maybe a little bit more, you know, echoes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this reverb here and move it across a slot, and then I'm going to find a delay, a tape echo, and let's see what we can do with this.
Don't let 'em get you down. Pick yourself up off the ground. You gotta rise. Don't let 'em get you down. Pick yourself up off the ground. You gotta rise.
Not bad. Okay, I'm pretty much out of time, so I better wrap this thing up. So what have I learned from today's recording session? What are my thoughts? Okay, well, first of all, giving yourself a challenge, putting yourself under unnecessary pressure to complete writing and recording a whole song in a day is pretty silly and unnecessary. And yet, I've been able to achieve it today despite getting annoyed with myself with my guitar playing, due to the things that I'm using on my iPad, most notably Cubase 3 and MixBox. Now I'm allowed to talk about this now. I've been using the beta for Cubase 3 now for some time. It goes live in a couple of days, the update, and I'm allowed to talk about it now. So I'm going to tell you this, loads and loads of bug fixes. I've not suffered one single crash whilst recording this whole song, and AUV3 support is massively improved. And I now feel that moving forward, Cubase 3 will be the leading traditional DAW on the iOS platform. Also MixBox, just having all of those really high quality effects all in one place. I'm not pulling in lots of, because I've got loads of great effects on my iPad, but I'm not pulling in like lots of different effects from different places. It's all there in one place. And the presets are so good, they're so well thought out. They give you like a real good head start on every instrument that you're trying to get a sound for. And when you're on a little bit of a time pressure kind of a limit thing, it's really, really helpful. So those two apps have really made today work for me. Now where I've arrived now is I've recorded every instrument and I have a rough mix. Actually the mix sounds great to me at the moment, but of course I've been doing this all day and my ears are quite tired. So what I'm going to do is I'll leave it for now, and I'll be back in here in the morning and I'll start to refine the mix, get some kind of a master finished, and then I'll start editing this video together. So I hope this video has been at least of some interest to at least one or two people. If you did like the video, please do give me the old thumb up there, and if you're not already subscribed, then please do so, and ding my bell if you'd like to be notified of more nonsense from me. If you have any questions about the video or anything else to do with music at all, then please do comment under the video, or if you like, and I will get back to you, I promise. Or if you'd like, you can email me directly. My email address is down below the video. In fact, all my social media stuff is there, and my Patreon account where there's some interesting stuff going on at the moment. So lots of things down there to check out. So until next time, until the next video, please take care of yourselves and be good, make lots of music, and don't pissy pants about. See you later.
Don't let 'em get you down. Pick yourself up off the ground.